or spirit entity is eligible for the admission to the core of the celestial artisans, that is, any being below the rank of inherent divine sonship. Mortals from the evolutionary spheres may apply for admission to the celestial artisans, and if sufficiently gifted, may choose such a career for a longer or shorter period. If you are not to be detained on Mansion World number 1, at the end of 10 days you will enter the translation sleep and proceed to World number 2, and every 10 days thereafter you will thus advance until you arrive on the world of your assignment. We will have Morontia companions that are beautiful and versatile beings and companionable associates and charming guides. They are free to accompany individuals or selected groups to any of the transition cultural spheres, including their satellite worlds. They are the excursion guides and leisure associates of all ascending mortals. They often accompany survivor groups on periodic visits to Jerusalem, the system capital, and on any day you're there, you can go to the registry sector of the system capital and meet ascending mortals from all 7 of the mansion worlds, since they freely journey back and forth between their residential abodes and the system headquarters. The second mansion world. On the second mansion world, we begin to have working groups and social organizations and communities, and there are new social orders and governmental arrangements. There are various orders of beings on this mansion world, and they are all friendly and fraternal. The polar crystal, that what John the Apostle called the Sea of Glass, makes its appearance on the second Mansonia. It is actually a giant crystal used for transports and for receiving broadcasts. A newly developed and suitable adjusted Morontia body is acquired at the time of each advance from one mansion world to another. You go to sleep with the seraphic transport and awake with the new but undeveloped body in the resurrection halls, much as when you first arrived on Mansion World number 1, except that the thought adjuster does not leave you during these transit sleeps between the mansion worlds. Your personality remains intact after you once pass from the evolutionary worlds to the initial mansion world. Your adjuster memory remains fully intact as you ascend the Morontia life. You will be conscious of all your worthwhile experiences as you advance from one mansion world to another, and from one section of the universe to another, even to paradise. Though you have Morontia bodies, you continue through all 7 of these worlds to eat, drink, and rest. You partake of the Morontia order of food, a kingdom of living energy unknown on the material worlds. Both food and water are fully utilized in the Morontia body, and there is no residual waste. From sphere to sphere, you grow less material, more intellectual, and slightly more spiritual. The spiritual progress is greatest on the last 3 of these 7 progressive worlds. It is difficult to instruct you regarding your Morontia personality forms for the local universe career. You will be endowed with Morontia patterns of personality manifestability, and these are investments which, in the last analysis, are beyond your comprehension. Such forms, while entirely real, are not energy patterns of the material order which you now understand. They do, however, serve the same purpose on the local universe worlds as do your material bodies on the planets of human nativity. To a certain extent, the appearance of the material body form is responsive to the character of the personality identity. The physical body does, to a limited degree, reflect something of the inherent nature of the personality. Still more so does the Morontia form. In the physical life, mortals may be outwardly beautiful, though inwardly unlovely. In the Morontia life, and increasingly on the higher levels, the personality form will vary directly in accordance with the nature of the inner person. On the spiritual level, outward form and inner nature begin to approximate complete identification, which grows more and more perfect on higher and higher spirit levels. Mansonia number 2 more specifically provides for the removal of all phases of intellectual conflict and for the cure of all varieties of mental disharmony. The effort to master the significance of Morontia Moda, begun on the first Mansion world, is here more earnestly continued. The third Mansion world. Mansonia the third is the headquarters of the Mansion world teachers. Though they function on all 7 of the Mansion spheres, they maintain their group headquarters at the center of the school circles of world number 3. There are millions of these instructors on the Mansion and higher Morontia worlds. These advanced and glorified cherubim serve as Morontia teachers all the way up from the Mansion worlds to the last sphere of local universe ascendant training. Mansonia III is a world of great personal and social achievement for all who have not made the equivalent of these circles of culture prior to release from the flesh on the mortal nativity worlds. On this sphere, more positive educational work is begun. The training of the first 2 Mansion worlds is mostly of a deficiency nature, negative, in that it has to do with supplementing the experience of the life in the flesh. On this third Mansion world, the survivors really begin the progressive Morontia culture. The chief purpose of this training is to enhance the understanding of the correlation of Morontia Moda and mortal logic, the coordination of Morontia Moda and human philosophy. Surviving mortals now gain practical insight into true metaphysics. This is the real introduction to the intelligent comprehension of cosmic meanings and universe interrelationships. The fourth Mansion world. When you arrive on the fourth Mansion world, you have well entered upon the Morontia career. You have progressed a long way from the initial material existence. New grandeurs are progressively unfolding to the expanding minds of these ascenders. On the fourth Mansonia, the individual ascender more fittingly finds his place in the group working and class functions of the Morontia life. Ascenders here develop increased appreciation of the broadcasts and other phases of local universe culture and progress. It is during the period of training on world number 4 that the ascending mortals are really first introduced to the demands and delights of the true social life of Morontia creatures, and it is indeed a new experience for evolutionary creatures to participate in social activities which are predicated neither on personal aggrandizement nor on self-seeking conquest. A new social order is being introduced, one based on the understanding sympathy of mutual appreciation, the unselfish love of mutual service, and the overmastering motivation of the realization of a common and supreme destiny, the paradise goal of worshipful and divine perfection. Ascenders are all becoming self-conscious of God, knowing, God revealing, God seeking, and God finding. We master the local universe language before leaving the fourth Mansion world, and now devote more time to the perfection of the tongue of Uversa, to the end that you may be proficient in both languages before arriving on Jerusalem with residential status. and then it is only necessary to enlarge the super-universe vocabulary, still additional enlargement being required for residence on paradise. The fifth mansion world. Transport to the fifth mansion world represents a tremendous forward step in the life of a Morontia progressor. The experience on this world is a real foretaste of Jerusalem life. A real birth of cosmic consciousness takes place on Mansonia number 5. You're becoming universe-minded. This is indeed a time of expanding horizons. It is beginning to dawn upon the enlarging minds of the ascending mortals that some stupendous and magnificent, some supernal and divine destiny awaits all who complete the progressive paradise ascension, which has been so laboriously but so joyfully and auspiciously